and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Coming right up, another fun varsity sports show.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man, Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince Delicio in studio for our final show of 2023, and we have a very special guest joining us in studio as well. Such an amazing morning, nice and cool outside. Came into the Hubbard radio station here in East Phoenix, and have a good friend joining us. And we've decided to call this a tradition that we are going to spend the final show of the year every year, as long as we can, and until she really hits the big time, and then she's going to leave me in the dust like everybody else does. But she is, you may know her as the Phoenix Family Foodie on Arizona Family Channel 3 and Channel 5. Her name is Heather Walker. Heather, thank you for joining us.
Yay.
Yeah.
My caffeine and Claritin D is right now kicking in, so you're in for a heap of trouble this morning, my friend.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you've already kind of been on a roll. We started talking football, and we had to bleep a lot of things before we went live.
Yeah, once I start talking football, the F-bombs start flying. So, tell your producer in there to get that bleep button ready, because once I get going.
So let's kind of talk about how things are going. First of all, it's been quite the season. It's been. I mean, you are passionate about sports. You're passionate about food. Those go well together.
Yes.
As I've seen some of the things that you've whipped up on social media, as well as on ABC. That was the old days. That was the old days. Okay, I grew up here. On Arizona Family Channel 3. Yeah. What are some of your favorites to enjoy while watching sporting events?
I'm a huge wing person. I mean, and wings are so versatile. You can grill them, you can fry them, you can do anything with them, and you can dress them up any which way. I mean, wings are my kryptonite, man.
How many years have you been here in the Valley?
Since my son was 2, so it's 10, 11 years now.
Okay, all right. Well, going back over 30 years, there was a place called, and it has since changed ownership, but called Native New Yorker here in town. And they were located. They had one location back in the 80s off of Dorsey and Broadway in Tempe, and every Tuesday night they had 10-cent wings if you bought a drink, and we'd go in there and buy lemonade or something. Yeah. And I mean, we would load up and on every possible kind. Do you have a favorite? What's your go-to?
Gosh, I think I'm just a traditional buffalo wing person.
Okay.
They have to be super crispy though. Yeah. Can I give a restaurant?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bonfire.
Okay.
Bonfire has great wings. They have great food. My son trains down there sometimes with ground up QB training.
Okay, in Tempe?
It's near Bonfire.
Okay,
we go to QB training Sunday mornings and then go to Bonfire. And me being from Detroit,
Oh, my God.
It's a big Lions
Wow,
bar.
look at that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got my Michigan versus everybody shirt on this morning.
Yeah. Do we want to spend a couple hours talking about Jim Harbaugh?
Let me tell you, I grew up in Michigan. I've been all over the place. I grew up in Michigan, spent most of my life in Southern California. But when I was a kid, Jim Harbaugh was the quarterback at Michigan. And it was just kind of the age when I was starting to like boys. And oh boy, I had a big crush on Jim Harbaugh. So that's kind of lasted throughout the ages, you know, and now I see him. And I'm going to make a prediction here.
Okay.
Last week, he talked about how much he liked Justin Herbert. I told you I spent most of my life in Southern California.
Yeah.
The Chargers took a big beating, and Spanos fired the coach last week. So I'm going to make a prediction right now that you're going to see Jim Harbaugh at the Chargers next season.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
Well, I got to ask this question because I don't, and I should, but I don't follow too much of what goes on in the Big Ten. What's the deal with Jim Harbaugh and struggling a little bit versus in that big game every year?
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Right now.
All right.
I can give you a little insight. Here's my opinion on why he didn't make it in the NFL last time.
Yeah.
He's not a yes man. Jim Harbaugh is not a yes man. He's not going to do what the owners want. He's not going to do things for sponsors or business or money. He's football. So when he gets to the NFL, he doesn't always fit in, which worries me a little bit about Spanos because Spanos wants a yes man.
Well, he did take the Niners to the Super Bowl one year.
He did.
I mean,
but they lost the Super Bowl, and then
they did,
he didn't make it. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens this time around. But I think it's coming.
Well, it makes sense because of the fact that he was the head coach. He started his collegiate head coaching career. I think it was at USD, University of San Diego, the Toros.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so you never know. He may end up back there and
he's
in
also
LA
about to
now.
be only the 12th person to actually play and coach in the Rose Bowl.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Only 12 men have done that.
Wow. Are you going to go?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
The tickets were not cheap.
Yeah.
It's a short drive, but
That's true.
the tickets were like and it's the Coliseum, so it's huge.
Yeah.
The tickets were like starting at like $750.
Oh
so
my gosh.
my couch is really cozy. I could whip up some wings and be a happy girl.
See, that's something you can't
I'm
do at the
telling
Rose
ya.
Bowl. Yeah, unless if you have a little a food cart there and you decide to share the wealth and with some of the spectators. No.
Bonfire would be a great place to watch the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe we'll go.
All right. Well, that would be fun. And Bonfire was one of our partners this season.
They did a lot for high school football. They got those 3 high schools right down around there, so they're very supportive.
Oh, yeah. Big supporters of Corona del Sol, Marcos Denisa, Desert Vista.
Bonfire,
I think,
send us a check.
Valley Christian. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, please come back. But we have an amazing show today. It's definitely not going to disappoint. I wanted to go through this all-star Who's Who guest list today. So first of all, and this is in no particular order, as the show goes on, you got to listen for the whole 2 hours. It goes by fast. Our mantra here is you miss a minute, you miss a lot, because we kind of fly through the show. We've dialed it back a little bit now that our amazing intern team have since graduated, moved on. So it's just going to be us today, but we've got some features. We've got some guests. We've got the Sabercat basketball report this morning with Saguaro Sabercats head basketball coach Lucas Ramirez. He's an old friend of the pro. Yeah, you're a friend. You're a friend of the Saguaro community, and that's how we met. Actually,
yep.
And through the youth program, the Argonauts, and Coach Nick. You want to give a shout out to Coach Nick?
Hi, Nick.
Nick
is
he's like a brother to you.
I'm like a stereotypical crazy football.
Are you a helicopter mom?
My license plate on my car says Momzilla.
Oh my God!
And I have been told that I live up to every.
Oh, that's terrible.
Aspect of that. So, it's our kids. It's my whole life. And I have one kid. And so he's my whole life.
Does he tell you to back off?
I know when to back off.
Okay,
I can tell.
okay.
I can tell. And I've had to back off before.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So Coach Nick, the Argos, I mean, a lot of success there. And that's a feeder program at Saguaro. So your son's an aspiring young quarterback.
Yep.
He's an 8th grader.
Yep.
And some major decisions now because, he's got some NFL contracts looming out there.
That's
and,
right.
who knows where he'll end up. He might be with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. One can dream. One can dream.
One can dream. Yes. Then we get off track easily here. We've got the Toro basketball report with our old friends out at Mountain View High School, Coach Andy Johnson. They're going to be headed to Vegas this week for the Tarkanian Classic. And, of course, Coach Johnson spent a lot of time coaching in Las Vegas before he ventured out here to the Valley a few years ago. This is his second year at Mountain View. Then we're bringing on the panel, the experts, Midwest Sports Net's Joey McWilliams out of southeastern Oklahoma. We've got NAIA F-balls, Cory Thorpe.
F-balls.
Yeah. It's football abbreviated. This is a family show. It's
Vince.
Yeah, I didn't say F-bomb. I said F-ball.
That's even worse.
Yeah. NAIA F-balls, Cory Thorpe. He's out of the state of Florida. We tend to have discussions over what the best seafood place is. He's named all these places in Florida along the coast. I'm a pretty simple guy. I like Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, so they're one of my favorites. Then within that segment, we'll also have Champion Sports Network's James Lex. James is out of Dallas, and I'm fortunate enough to be associated with these gentlemen, and we vote in a media poll every week throughout the season to rank the NAIA football teams. And today is Championship Saturday. The NAIA National Championship is being held today. You talk about a playoff system. NAIA does it right. There's a lot of opportunity for young people, Heather, as you know, and seeing our two universities here, Arizona Christian and Ottawa University, and Surprise, and they are obviously participants in the NAIA and the NAIA National Championship. So anyway, then we will be joined by all state, all Arizona, all Arizona Cardinals special teams player of the year, Darius Haskin from Buckeye High School. He'll be joining us, and we did some coverage of Buckeye, the Hawks this year. And I tell you what, there is quite a bit past Goodyear. You keep driving a little bit west, you'll hit Buckeye, and there's an amazing football program coached by head coach Pooney Ellis. I had the privilege this season. We covered, I think, 5 or 6 of their games, but they took me out to Hawaii. There was a game out there in Kauai to start the season, so I covered that game, and they came away with a big win versus Waimea High School in Kauai to start the season. And now we're at the end of the season, and we're going to hear from Darius and what his offseason plans are now that he'll be graduating here in a few months. Minority Football Coaches Network. Coach Jim Camarillo, who's a familiar name. Yep. He was the defensive coordinator for years at Saguaro High School. Might have been a part of maybe 8 or 9 of those state championships out there, if not more. And he's branched off. He's got a nonprofit. He is bringing an all-star game here to the Valley. Guys, get this. This is for the teams, I think, are set. They may still have a couple of spots still open, but it's called the Offertunity Bowl, and it's a high school senior bowl game, all-star game, Southern California versus Arizona. It's coming here January 27th. We are covering that game. We are excited. We're going to hear from Coach Camarillo, and there's going to be some familiar faces that will be coaching that game.
So many great kids without offers still out there.
Yes.
I mean, so many great kids.
Yes. And then we've got the executive director of the Arizona Media Association. More on that as the show goes on. Big announcement this week. I'm so excited, and I'm so excited to share it with you, Heather, as well as the rest of our audience. A lot of fun. And then this will be the point in the show at the end where you'll be able to turn off and take your headset off, where I bring my friend Mike with the Beachin with Beale Southern California Surf
notes.
Report.
I'm already...
Yeah, I mean, I gave you a little bit of background, and you were part of it last time. So anyway, okay. So, guys, that's our show for today, and we're just going to sit here and have a conversation here with my old friend Heather Walker, the Phoenix family foodie here on the Varsity Sports Show. So it's welcome to the journey. Heather, I am so excited that you're going to be part of this today. We're going to sit here in the nice warmth of the fishbowl here in the studio.
Do you remember last year we were outside at South Mountain?
We were.
I was almost angry. I was so...
Oh, you were mad. You were so mad at me. And you said, if we ever do this again, I'm coming in studio. So we're accommodating you today. Yeah. So this is all for you, Heather.
Anything with food, football, and coffee.
Yes. Guys, don't go anywhere. My friend Aaron Decker is behind the glass manning the board, and we look forward to bringing you back with the NAIA committee. We'll be back shortly. Go Varsity.
1060 app. Download today to hear all of the national and local shows you love. That's the KDUS 1060 app.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AA-PAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbeterathletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road, just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Have you downloaded the KDUS 1060 app yet? Download today and get all of your favorite local and national shows right on your phone.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince and Heather in studio, Phoenix family foodie. Right. We are graced with royalty this morning here, and Heather, thank you for joining us. And you got to give me some dirt. I like some
boy,
yeah. What's going on at AZ Family Channel 3? Anything good?
So AZ, I've been going on that show for like 8 years, I think. The people and I don't get any money. I mean, I do it for absolutely free.
Really?
The people there have.
Well, I got to tell you something. You're not going to get a nickel from us today.
No. It's media.
Okay,
and it's great
kidding.
exposure for me, and I don't care because they're my friends there now. Everybody there is better looking and more beautiful inside and out. In person. So I keep going back to that place. They've switched producers and directors and things like that, and it just keeps getting better and better.
It seems like they're a good group of people. Sometimes you could tell people are superficial. Like I'm a big Apple TV guy, and I love watching the morning show. You ever watch that with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon?
I haven't.
Oh my God. It's very loosely based on NBC's Today Show during the whole Matt, what was his name?
Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer.
With the crazy
Stuff.
lock on the door.
Yes, the lock, the little click,
Weirdo. There are no Matt Lauers at AZ Family.
No crazy locks on doors?
Not like that at all.
Okay, all right. So,
and if there is, I don't know about it.
Okay, there you go. Well, good. That's a good thing. But anyway, so you wonder, because in front of the camera, I'm pretty transparent. What you see is what you get for me, and I try to live that way. But
I just looked at the door to see if there was a lock.
There's this little click. You heard a clicking noise.
I hear a click.
Yeah. No, but a lot of people aren't that way with these. With the away from the mic or away from the camera. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I digress. We are joined by our old friends, the media panel for the NAIA media. Football, and we've got I'm going to get this right, from Southeastern Oklahoma in Midwest Sports Net, we have Joey McWilliams. We got Champion Sports Network, James Lex out of Dallas, Texas, and then out of the state of Florida, we've got Cory Thorpe. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey guys, so I'm joined in studio, old friend of our program, Heather Walker, and we are going to take you through this journey this morning on NAIA Football Championship Saturday. First of all, I'm going to start with Cory. Cory, let's talk about today's matchup. We've got the number one team in the country. They've been number one most of the season, Northwestern out of Iowa. And they are taking on Kaiser out of your state in Florida, 14-0 versus 10-2. Did the brackets get it right?
Well, first I got to correct you a little bit. The game is actually Monday at noon Eastern time.
Oh, today. You know what? Yep.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, that is strange because for some reason my eyes caught December 16th. It is actually December 18th, so you're correct. Okay, so that being said, what do you think? Did they get it? And why is it on a Monday?
So we don't have to go to work.
With the addition of, with the addition of the 4 teams that they added in this year to make it a 20-team bracket, they sort of had to rejigger the way that the bracket kind of fell out and still give the 2 teams a little bit of time to rest a little bit. And so they gave them a couple of days to rest and recuperate and get ready for their championship matchup. Noon's a little bit of a weird one. I don't know if there's anything else in bowl season that's happening that ESPN might be having that would coincide, that would maybe detract eyes. But, Monday at noon Eastern, here we are. But either way, yes, I think the bracket did get it right. I mean, you've got 1 versus 3. 2 gets upset by number 11, but Kaiser took care of number 11 last week. And so I think, with it being the way that it did, with a 20-team playoff, for the most part, the seeding was actually pretty spot on.
Yeah. James, we talked to you about the bracketing last week and the addition of the 4 teams and the 20 teams. Do you think the NAIA got it right? Do you think that they should add more teams at large bids because there were so many that were on the bubble this year? Do you think there's too many teams? What's your thought?
I think overall they got very close to being right. I think there might be one team in Arizona that has a little bit of something to say.
We've argued about this all year.
Coach Nesbitt, I'm sure, has had a few ideas. But, no, I mean, overall, I think they did get it right. The teams that made it in, they were competitive games. They, unlike other associations, you have a winner from every conference that gets to the playoffs. And so you do create this large system. And I would say overall the competition – all the way through to Monday's championship game is going to be some great football here at the end of the season.
Joey McWilliams, Midwest Sports Net. Joey, you cover a lot of NCAA Division II. You cover a lot of NAIA programs. There's a stigma, and I'm sitting here with a mom, with Heather here as a mom of an aspiring young quarterback that'll be entering high school soon, and before you know it, he'll be through high school, he'll have some options collegiately. If you were to try and sell a parent, such as Heather here, on the benefits of NAIA versus maybe NCAA Division I, what are some positives that you can push?
Well, first off, Heather, the high school years go by quickly, so just enjoy them. Because they'll be there and then they're gone. But and I have 5 kids, so I can say that.
5 kids? Are you kidding? I didn't know that.
I only have 1, so I got 1 shot. So wow. give me your pitch.
Yeah.
I got one shot.
What the NAIA does and what some of these smaller colleges do are on par with Division I, and they're going to have opportunities along the way. Now, there are scholarships, obviously, that differ a little bit, and maybe some of the exposure that differs just a little bit, but the opportunities are there, and there are only so many Division I roles to go around, even if a player, has the opportunity to play at that level. But the quality of competition in NCAA Division II, and of course we're talking NAIA today, and we've seen, I think everyone here on the panel that Vince is talking about has seen that the quality of competition at the NAIA level is there. And with shows like Vince's show and what he does to promote not only high school but college, in the Phoenix area and beyond shows that the exposure is getting there as well. And if you want to go and play and have the opportunity to not only suit up and say you played at a school, but have the opportunity to get that playing time and be a part of what could be a championship team that we'll find out on Monday. One of these two teams is going to be crowned champion. You get that opportunity at NAIA, and the education is there as well. I spoke with the leading scorer in the NAIA in women's basketball just last week on Midwest Sports Net, and she had opportunities at Division I and Division II, but she wanted to go to University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy in St. Louis because she knew she was going to get the education she wanted for later in life.
A lot of these schools are a lot smaller, and some obscure names like Friends University, and there's some others out there. But the academic experience, the Cobbers. What school is that, Cory? Help me out. The Cobbers up in Minnesota. That is.
I have no idea.
Joey, James, help me out. The Cobbers. Who is it? Who are they? What's the school up in Minnesota?
Is that Concordia?
Concordia out of Minnesota. Okay, so the defensive coordinator, who is a good friend of mine, but the name of the school escaped me for a minute because there's several Concordias out there. But the Cobbers, they have an endowment set up by one of their famous alums, and it's the dude that patented, that provides all of the potatoes for the McDonald's franchises internationally. Yes, and he set up something to the tune. Well, we're talking something to the tune of like a $400 million endowment. There's a lot of money in these little tiny schools in obscure places. I mean, we're talking like some dollars. So it's not only that, it's a smaller educational experience. You're dealing with schools that might have 1,000, 2,000, maybe 3,000 students in a lot of them, and there's a lot of financial backing. I mean, do you guys agree with that? I mean, is that pretty much universally known?
You got to
I know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cory.
Go ahead, Cory.
You got to make sure that when you're going to these places, you're taking visits, that you look at the places and make sure that they do meet with that, because as with
we lost somebody. Okay, so continuing on, Joey, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to agree with Cory on that, because you have to go, you have to find out, take the visit, and make sure that it fits what you want. But you're exactly right. Again, because the exposure hasn't been there, there are people and schools that may not know everything, but there are a lot of good counselors in your local schools that are aware of things that maybe just your general public doesn't know. And honestly, I don't know about you. I heard Heather talking about the fact that she enjoys sports, and she might make an FCC violation or two in talking about sports. So when you have that kind of love and passion for sports, you sometimes associate schools with their athletic programs,
right? And
you have to go beyond that to get there. So take the official visit, get out, find out a little bit more for what your counselor has to offer. But yes, there are many, as you were talking about, Vince, many things and financial and academic opportunities that unless you're...
Who did we lose this time? Okay. All right, let's do this.
You're the last man standing.
If we don't like the answer, we just cut you off.
It's me. I'm hitting the button. I'm like, okay, you're done. Bye. 2 minutes are up.
All right. So in 30 seconds, James, give us some strengths, weaknesses of the number one team in the country in Northwestern, the Red Raiders. Go ahead.
All right, well, the number one strength for the Red Raiders is that they're good at pretty much every facet of the game. These playoffs, they've given up 27 points total in 3 games in the playoffs.
Wow.
And offensively, their quarterback is a dual threat. He throws 70% completion, 33 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but don't worry about the 8 interceptions. He got 8 rushing touchdowns to cover that up. So strong on both sides. Biggest weakness is how are they going to play against playing Kaiser again, second straight year? How are they going to change up their approach, and how are they going to do in the second half? Because they made great second half adjustments last year. Can they do that this year?
Okay, Cory Thorpe out of Florida. Give us a prediction of your team out there, Kaiser, the number 3 team taking on number 1.
Kaiser wants to start Seahawks fast, play Seahawk fast, finish Seahawk fast. You're going to see an attempt at a lot of penetration along the defensive front to try to really get into the backfield and stop the dual threat quarterback at the start of the play. You're going to see that defense try to play fast and try to force Gramstad into errors. Offensively, I hope you like the run game because they have two guys who can really do it well and then go over the top with play action to the tight end. If Northwestern's linebackers are not having a good eye discipline day, it's going to be a long day for the entire Northwestern defense.
Okay, he's Cory Thorpe from NAIA F-Ball. We have, Heather loves that. We have Joey McWilliams out of Midwest Sports Net. Cory's in Florida. Joey's in Oklahoma. And then we've got James Lex, Champion Sports Network. You can find them all on social media. They are out there, and we've got links from our sites as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Good luck. Championship Monday, NAIA Football Championships. And we'll circle back, maybe compare notes after the fact. I'm still hoping that Arizona gets an at-large bid here, but maybe next year, right? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Vince.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by Grand Canyon University Club Sports Director, Dr. Dan Nichols. Stick around here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
I'll turn those picks into gold.
Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
This is hockey guru Tom Cross from Carefree, Arizona, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS. Go Varsity!
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. We are joined by Dr. Dan Nichols. Dr. Nichols is the club sports director out at Grand Canyon University. He's a friend of the program. He was also the head basketball coach at South Mountain Community College, and has been
Still am.
Still is. Wow, that's a lot of work. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my social life, hanging out with kids.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that as well, because you know I'm a big JUCO guy, and you've been affiliated with the Maricopa Community Colleges forever. But anyway, Dr. Nichols, thanks so much for joining us. And, you know, it's a special treat because we've had this partnership now with GCU Club. This is going on year 2, and we go back even further in when we used to cover you guys, and hopefully we'll still continue to do that out at South Mountain and everything going on there. So I don't know how you find the time. Let's start with GCU Club. So GCU Club and club sports in general at the collegiate level is very competitive. We're not talking intramurals. This is competitive stuff. There are some great athletes that come out of it, and you manage. Am I mistaken here? 44 club sports?
44 Club Sports. We have a great staff of administrators here: Mark Nelson, Aslan Finfrock, Aslan Whitehead now, Jim Howell, and Ben Canfield. We have a great athletic training staff, so we're able to do it. It's not just me. They've done a great job. Yeah, I initially developed it. It started with men's lacrosse when I was the assistant athletic director on the NCAA side.
Okay.
And as we were moving to D1, I was on the transition team, and there was a decision made to drop lacrosse out of the Division II because there were no Division I opponents on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So that was how club really started to develop. And President Brian Mueller was also whispering in my ear to get the club sports started. So I was able to take off, do a lot of research, go out through the country. I was traveling with the men's basketball team with Coach Marley back then, and then doing their media. So I was able to visit a lot of the campuses and figure out what was the best way to develop club sports for Grand Canyon University, because it's really unique to each campus.
There's, the other universities here in Arizona in particular also offer club. What sets GCU apart with their program?
It's the administrative involvement and the amount of work that we put into it. So largely they operate on their own as separate entities with some oversight. We do the majority of the oversight here. We hire the coaches. We are involved heavily with their travel. And what I've been able to do is really get them placed in competitive environments that's best for them. So, being a long time, as you mentioned, Vince, you were talking about my past. So, obviously I've been in athletics all my life.
Yeah.
Been fortunate to just have a great job like that. So having the knowledge of where to put these teams, whether it's in hockey, it's the ACHA or the MCLA, really just putting them in the right place to have that competitive environment that you need to really attract the student athlete.
How do you add sports? I mean, how do you gauge interest? Because I'm looking, 44 sports, there's a lot of colleges that even don't even have half that many, but you got baseball, basketball, bowling. We'll talk about flag football, that's coming. Golf, hockey, lacrosse, rugby, soccer, volleyball. I mean, how do you do it? What determines when you're going to add a sport?
Well, initially it was lacrosse. So, thinking about Title IX issues, we brought in women's lacrosse, and I was out there running practices, initially. And then we hired a coach. But largely it's driven by student interest, right? And then some of the things like I would have people come in and propose a thing like rugby. Initially, that was student-led. It was a group of students that wanted to start a rugby club. So as we got started, we had to hire in a great coach. So eventually we went through a few people, and we've got Coach Sean O'Leary, who was the head coach at Notre Dame. So we're able to go out and get him so we can do these sports safely. And when you have a great coach, they will attract the players. They will go out and recruit the athletes necessary. Some of it's student interest. There'll be a few students maybe that, say, for instance, want to play ultimate frisbee, and then they'll group up like that. So a lot of it's driven by student interest, and some of it is just by history, right? I mean, rugby teams throughout the nation, we all hear about Cal and those teams. Well, we're trying to emulate that same kind of thing.
Well, you got pickleball, it looks like, CrossFit, disc golf. What I want to talk about next, Coach, is, because I know you as Coach, Coach, I want to talk about a guy that's behind the scenes a lot that you don't see in a lot of club sports programs nationally, and that's your sports information director, who's a good friend of both of ours from years back at Phoenix College. How did you determine that you had a need for a sports information director, especially like Jim?
Well, I had the pleasure of working with Jim, so I knew him. I used to tease him all the time, mess around with him when we were at Arizona Western. But I saw his work ethic, and I'm the kind of guy, I take notice, I watch people, I look to watch and figure out who would I like to work with. I think that's from coaching, right? When you're a head coach, you're like, that guy might make a good assistant for me someday, right? So that's really sort of the thing. And I thought, well, if I had a chance to work with Jim, that would be fantastic. And Jim was over at Phoenix College, and I initially brought Paul Coro in, who was a good friend of mine.
Sure.
And he was in that spot to begin with. Well, the university came and they wanted him for, a more popularized position. That's it. So, when Paul left us, he really got the ball rolling with the website, and then Jim was a natural fit to come in because we also need play-by-play. We need, somebody that can handle websites.
Sure, public address announcing too. He's a master at that.
Announcer, yeah, he's fantastic, right? So he serves a lot of purpose, and we all cooperate with each other. The NCAA club, Jim does the women's play-by-play. And he's just fantastic. So he serves a lot of roles for us.
Definitely.
And administrator and accountant.
Yep.
And his good advice and counsel, right?
Yeah, great added bonus because he's been around the athletic realm at the collegiate level for so many years as well. So that's an added plus. So getting back to the number of sports that you offer and the variety and this gauging student interest in all of that, there's a new sport that is burgeoning, particularly here in Arizona. And by the way, everyone, we're joined by Grand Canyon University Club Sports Director Dr. Dan Nichols. The growing interest in flag football. It's now an AIA-sanctioned sport here in the state of Arizona. It's growing nationally, internationally. It's going to be an Olympic sport in 2028. How's that coming along?
It's catching fire is what it's doing, and it may be getting ahead of itself because we're trying to place it correctly. That's going to be really critical is where we're going to find the competitive environment. We know we can play a lot of teams that are in town that are probably going to develop things in the same way, and we'll have some opponents there, whether it's Benedictine or people like that. But we also want to find a great league for them, and so we're currently researching that, and we're going to do it. I've been in touch with some different people that are holding camps for talent, so we're going to go look at talent and start actively recruiting to this, and then we're going to develop a coaching staff that can really provide the instruction necessary to be successful out there and safe, right? We want safety. We want highly qualified coaches that can bring that and also bring the strategic elements into them to make them successful.
You talked about the great staff, the great coaches that you have. And so obviously GCU is a great place to work for a lot of these folks. They love being there. And not a lot of them have come up through as undergraduates at GCU. Like you mentioned, Coach Sean O'Leary, you plucked him from Notre Dame. How are you keeping these folks? What's the magic formula to keep them where they're at?
Well, you mentioned it. It's just a great place to work. And we feel like we have, as Mark Nelson would preach, a great culture, right? We have a great culture here, and it's just a lot of fun. Obviously, we want to win, but the experience that the student have is the paramount, right? So we want to give the students a great experience, and that sort of goes along with winning. And if we put our effort and hard work in, that's going to happen. And so we really created a family type atmosphere in club sports, but it's highly competitive. We do win national championships. Golf just took home the national championship. Mike Mueller and Ryan Woodworth just do a great job. And they've developed a team over there. We work closely with recreational, with fields and stuff like that. We also have to work with the NCAA. Maybe they have players that aren't quite going to make it at the Division I level, or they want to look at they can play club and they can keep an eye on them. So we've had players, say, from golf move up to the varsity the next year after they go through the eligibility process. So there's all kinds of talented athletes on campus, but really, I think it's really the atmosphere that we're able to create in club sports that really keeps people here.
All right, Coach, let's transition now. Let's put on your basketball coach hat. Let's talk a little bit about South Mountain Community College. You guys are right in the middle of your season. As of the time of this interview, you're sitting at 3-2 overall, and you've got a stretch run of some games, including heading down to Tucson this weekend. Talk a little bit about your team and some bright spots and maybe some teachable moments as you go through this season.
Well, I firmly believe we have the player of the year probably in the conference, which is Jalen Wesley. He was a freshman player of the year last year, but he's currently averaged something like 30 and 10. And I really think that's going to continue because he's really put in the work, and he's a really young guy too. I mean, he just turned 18 years old. So he's really going to be a big-time Division I talent. We've got two guards that Parker Escalante from Mesa High and Bobby Holcomb from Apollo that are also anchors for our freshman class. They're really good. They play well together. They're still developing. We have a lot of freshmen. We're loaded heavily with freshmen, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to find out a lot in the next game. We got Williston coming in, Gillette. We lost a tough one at Yavapai double overtime the other night.
Sure.
So we were really fatigued coming off that, which was unfortunate. But we have to develop our bench. Our bench, is another bunch of young guys.
Dr. Dan Nichols, he is the club sports director out at Grand Canyon University, great friend of our program and our partnership in year 2 now and covering GCU Club, as well as the head men's basketball coach at South Mountain Community College. Coach Nichols, thanks so much for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show, and have a great holiday.
Great job, Vince. You too.
All right, thanks.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Hi, this is Saguaro High School head baseball coach Joe Mickey, and you are listening to the home of the Sabercat Report, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Go Cats!
Hi, hey, this is Coach Bob Green. When I am not busier than a mosquito in a nudist colony, I'm listening to Vince at the Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio joined in studio by the Phoenix Family Foodie. Did you trademark that? Is that copyrighted?
No, it should
so
be,
I could
though,
steal
huh?
it. I could be the Phoenix Family Foodie.
Sure, you
would
can.
Would
Go
you get
right
mad
ahead.
if I did that?
No, I'd find something else.
I don't know
something
anything
better.
about cooking, but yeah, but just to do it just to spite you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
My motto on the tagline on my website says "Preventing families from eating ghastly food since 2010."
Yeah, and as if you said one of your go-tos is wings.
Yeah.
But
you can't go wrong with wings.
You can't.
It's
but
protein. I mean.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have anything else that's a pretty solid go-to?
Mac and cheese.
Really?
Yeah, mac and cheese. You could do
mac.
You could do so many other things in mac and cheese. Scott Passmore, who does not cook.
That guy's a legend.
I love Scott.
Yeah.
He's like my much older brother.
I don't think I could shine his shoes. I think he's that good that I don't think I'd
He's so good.
even...
He's the Ron Burgundy of Phoenix.
Oh, my God, he is. That's what I think of, actually, but he's like a much nicer version.
When I started going on that show, because I
Yeah.
used to watch and be like, watch, this guy's going to be a total jerk in
Yeah.
person, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that he was going to be, egotistical.
Yeah.
He is the nicest, funnest, awesome guy in the
I
world.
hear he's a big Harley guy. Is that true? Is he?
Harley's
is he
in airplanes. He's a pilot, so he's really into airplanes. But his
Okay.
big thing is real estate. I mean, the guy flips houses.
Wow.
Lives in them for a year. I mean, I'm sure the guy's probably a millionaire, but he's made all of his money through real estate.
Scott
and he's
Passmore.
a
Wow, who'd have thought?
fantastic flipper.
Yeah.
The houses that he makes are amazing. He'll buy a dump out in Cave Creek and turn it into a mansion and sell it for millions of dollars a year
Wow.
later.
Does he? And he's a chopper guy. He's a Harley guy.
Yep.
Do you think he runs with the Hells Angels?
I don't see him being.
He's not Hell's Angels material. You think he'd get rejected his membership
think about
app?
that, but I think he's hanging out at the Hilton.
Oh, okay. He's one of those weekend guys. Okay. Oh gosh, those guys. You might as well. I might as well be, a 60-year-old with a vet convertible.
Yeah, yes, that's more his style.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, moving right along. So joining us on the line is a guy that is all everything here in the state of Arizona. I had a chance. I was telling you, Heather, offline. We covered Buckeye High School this year, and guys, you want to check out an amazing program that's very family oriented, small community. You check out the community of Buckeye and the Buckeye Hawks out there. You got to keep driving west of Goodyear, and there is a community out there, very family oriented. Head coach is Pooney Ellis. Athletic director is Louis Contreras. Great friends of our program. They took me out to Hawaii this year. It was amazing. You know what? They called my bluff. I called Mr. Contreras, the AD, and I said, look, because they said, we want you to cover a few of our games this year. And I said, well, okay. But, they said, pick some games, and we'll see if we can get you out to do it. And I said, well, that first game looks pretty good. And the first game was out at Kauai, the island of Kauai, against Waimea High School. And Contreras called me back. He said, you're kidding, right? And I said, no, I'm serious. I was kind of half kidding. But 2 weeks later, he calls me back, and he says, trip set. We've got a ticket for you. You're going out to Hawaii. And so we covered the game. And they won. That was their first victory out on the islands, and you figure, you go out there you go out. Yeah, I'm good luck. So they got to take me again. But joining us on the line is a key member of that team. His name is Darius Haskin. Darius, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Darius, welcome to the program. So I got to tell you, first of all, congratulations on the season. You were like Mr. All-State, Mr. All-Everything. The Arizona Cardinals even honored you as their Special Teams Player of the Year for what you did out there. I mean, you did everything. They give you a ball, and you're finding the end zone. Well, you put up some good numbers overall. I mean, receiving-wise, 1,142 receiving yards. 78 receptions, 691 return yards, 30 touchdowns. One of the last games of the season that we did for you in a win, you had 6 touchdowns. You had touchdowns on offense, on special teams. I gave you a hard time afterwards. I said, what, you couldn't score on defense? And you were serious. You're like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I made a mistake on, I should have had that interception. It'd have been a pick 6. But I was kidding. How do you feel, being able to contribute that much to your team's success this year?
I mean, it felt good. I couldn't do none of that without the team, though, so that's all a team award.
I'll say. I mean, quite a team. And even going into that first game, it was interesting because I'd have the same conversation with Coach Ellis every week. I'd say, hey, Coach, how's Darius doing this week? And he's like, Darius says he's about 50, 60%. But then you would get on the field, and it was like a joke. You at 50, 60% is better than 200% of a lot of what other guys can give. I mean, you weren't necessarily at full strength all season. Have we seen you at full strength at any point in the season, or have you been kind of dealing with some nagging things the whole time?
Pretty much the whole time. I'd say the Waimea game, I was still coming from my shoulder injury, but that was probably the best time.
Yeah, because even I remember practices when we were in Honolulu, going into that game, Coach even told me, he said, yeah, Darius is still not quite there. He's dealing with this shoulder thing. But then you just lit it up in that game. And so you guys had a successful season this year. Did you have a favorite game aside from the first game at Kauai? Was there a favorite game of yours?
Probably St. Mary's.
Yeah, well, that was. Let me take a look at your schedule here because that was on senior night, and that was the game that we covered, and it was a big win for you, and you had a breakout game then. Talk a little bit about your teammates this season and what they meant to you, and starting with the quarterback position. I know you had a couple of guys playing quarterback this year, but how was that relationship?
It's amazing. I mean, the teammate, we're all family oriented, so we're close. And the 2 quarterbacks, it was just like I'm close to both, so
yeah,
we know who to put in the right situations, and they got it done. So thank you to all my teammates, and
sure.
Couldn't do it without them.
So I'm joined in studio today, Darius, by a major star. She's Phoenix Family Foodie from Channel 3, Heather Walker, Chef Heather, and she has a son that's a quarterback, but he also, he may play other positions. You're a receiver primarily, but you did play a little bit of quarterback. You played some defense, a lot of defense, but you were known for your special teams play. If you could pass some advice on to other guys that want to get on the field, what can you say about the importance of special teams?
It's a game changer, as my coaches say. I mean, going in, if you're going to the opening play is special teams. So special teams it's very important to the game because it could change a lot in a matter of seconds.
Absolutely, Heather. What do you think of that?
I think that's very true. I mean, you see some of the biggest surprise plays on either, kickoff returns or punt returns, blocked punts, things like that. Those are always, just from being in the crowd, some of the most exciting plays of the game. And like he said, it can shift the momentum within seconds. Fourth down, punt, hey, we got the ball back. Oh, well, guess what? He dropped the punt. The other team picked it up, and now they've got a first down. So
yeah,
I completely agree with all of that.
All right, so Darius Haskin is weighing his post-high school career options in playing college football. What position will Darius Haskin play in college?
I'll be a receiver and kick returner.
Receiving and kick returner. So you definitely want to play special teams in college then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you this. I'm going to go one step further because Coach Ellis he's a really honest guy. We'll have some really good conversations. In addition to making me eat a lot of white rice when we're in Kauai, we sat and we had some good conversation. Which God, the food was so good over there, Heather. Okay, so college options. You've got some schools still working on you. You kind of taking your time.
Yes, I'm taking my time. They're coming in slowly, but they're all blessings from God.
Okay.
Darius, I got one for you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite pregame meal? Come on. I know you got one.
I'd say it's probably some fruit, like just some grapes. I'll just sit there and eat some grapes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man. Okay.
Right,
yeah, my son doesn't eat a whole lot before a game. What about a post-game meal? Let's say you just won a big, important game. What are you going to go eat?
Probably that what we had in Kauai. They after the game. It was amazing.
It was rice with everything on top,
right,
basically.
There we go.
I don't remember.
You know what my favorite thing in Hawaii? Loco Moco. Have you had that?
Oh, yeah, I had it.
The breakfast.
All right, we're going to wrap up. Darius Haskin, everything, kick returner, receiver, defensive back out of Buckeye High School. Darius, good luck. Thank you so much, and good luck to the Hawks here in the offseason. We look forward to covering them. Mr. Contreras, the athletic director, and Coach Ellis out there. Take care, Darius. We are joined by another special guest here real quickly. His name is Ethan Caviness. He is an all-state hockey player out of Campo Verde High School. Ethan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ethan, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, man, you got some dogs in the background.
He's a dog lover.
Yeah.
He's all right in my book.
Yeah. So, Ethan, tell us a little bit about hockey. How'd you get into hockey? You live in the desert.
Yeah. I started about the age of 7. I started at AZ Ice Gilbert.
Okay. And you've been refereeing also, yeah. Yeah.
I hated it out at first. I didn't really like skating, but then
you got used to it.
Yeah. Skating is hard.
Watched a lot of hockey and then loved it.
Do you see yourself taking this thing a little further and maybe ending up? I mean, you're all state as a freshman, so obviously you're pretty good, and you want to. You're going to be playing in the all-star team, and then continuing on. You looking at colleges?
Yeah, I would say one of the main colleges I'm looking at is ASU because I've been to a few of their games. They have a pretty good hockey team. Also been to a lot of Coyotes, so maybe playing for a NHL. But
nice.
I took a hockey puck to the head at the ASU hockey game a couple weeks ago. I love hockey. I love ASU hockey. But I do still have a bump on my head.
Are you serious?
Took a puck. Yep.
I thought you were kidding.
No, I'm dead serious. I have the puck sitting in my bar at home.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, Ethan, it's a great sport for sure. We wish you all the luck, and keep us posted. We'll have you check in with us periodically and let us know how that's looking on the high school scene, and then maybe as you're looking at colleges as well. Okay.
Yep.
I'll look
Thank
for
you.
you out on the ice. Don't hit me in the head with a puck.
Yeah. Ethan Caviness, all-state hockey player out of Campo Verde. He actually attends AZ College Prep, but he plays at Campo Verde out there. Athletic director Max Ragsdale, really good friend of mine. All right, guys, when we come back from the break, hour number 2, we are going to be joined by Saguaro Sabercat basketball coach Lucas Ramirez. They are playing in the Saguaro Holiday Classic Tournament finals today against New Trier out of Illinois. We'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hey, this is Ralph Farrell, Carefree's #1 sports enthusiast, and want to tell you about a new radio show that's really hitting the spot. The Varsity Sports Show, which takes care of everything from high school, junior high school, college, community college sports. You got to listen to it. It's on 1060 AM. Arizona. No? Yes?
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hi, this is Aparna. And I'm Adrija, and we volunteer at Harvest Compassion Center. And you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
You're listening to the home of Saguaro Sabercat basketball. The Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. And now, here's Coach Lucas Ramirez. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. Hour number 2 on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Joined in studio, Vince DeLisio here with Heather Walker, the Phoenix family foodie from AZ Family Channel 3. Heather, back when we were a tiny show, I used to have to record all my own promos. So that's one that was kind of a holdover from 3 years ago. I kept it because it was kind of cheesy and kind of funny. But speaking of cheesy and funny, joining us on the line is Saguaro Sabercat basketball coach Lucas Ramirez, who's in the midst of, they host a tournament out there called the Saguaro Holiday Classic, very original name, but the Saguaro Holiday Classic. But they bring in these teams from everywhere to participate in this thing. It's a fun tournament, and surprise, Saguaro's actually pretty good this year. They're playing in the finals today. So joining us, Coach Ramirez. Coach, good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Coach, we know that you're a busy guy, a mover and a shaker, and it sounds like you're on your way somewhere. You're driving that fast Lamborghini of yours and heading off somewhere, so that the boosters provided to you. So don't lie. And, Saguaro being the wealthy school that they are, they got all those perks for coaches. I can't even sniff, not even an invitation into the hospitality room over there. I didn't hear about it until the PA announcer was talking about it. But anyway, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. It's been a fun week of basketball for our Sabercat team. Had two PowerPoint games, and as you know, a lot of great action over at Saguaro this weekend with our tournament that'll conclude today, and a lot of great competition, and it's also been pretty good for our team too. We've had a pretty good week so far, and we have a tough test this afternoon, the championship game.
So let's talk about that. Now these games, this is a regular season tournament, so these games count. You guys are sitting in 4-4 right now, and it was a little shaky coming in. Originally, to start the season, you had a big win against Flagstaff, then hit a little bit of a slump, but now it feels like the team is finding their identity. Talk about that identity.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt, as expected, going into this year with a brand new team for the most part. We know that we're going to have ups and downs, and that's going to continue. That's the journey of a young team. But talking about that identity that you speak of, I think we've shown anyone who's tuned in and watched our games through you guys or been in person, they know that our guys are going to fight until the end, and we're going to have a little bit of grit and toughness to us that'll help us win the tight games like we did last night, like we did earlier in the week as well against Post and Butte, coming from behind, even on Tuesday night, falling short by 3 years in a college prep. We were down probably close to 10 points, 8, 9, 10 points, and found a way to get back in that game there toward the end. So I think if there's one thing that we're demonstrating is that we have a little bit of grit and toughness to us.
So Chef Heather is joining us in studio here, and Chef, I want to call you Chef. Heather, Lucas, obviously, being tied in with the Saguaro family. What do you know about his reputation as a teacher, as a coach, and what he's developing out there?
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever met face to face, but
okay.
I see him in social media and stuff. My son trains with Alex Kogan over at Savage Speed Co. at Glory Gaines Gym. But everything, I'm also good friends with Nick Offenberger, and I hear great things about Coach Ramirez. That he's a good dude, that he takes care of the kids.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest challenge right now with the students? I know coming from a parent standpoint, the holdback situation is just insane right now. What are your thoughts on that?
Wow, yeah, first off, thanks for the kind words. That's a really, really good question. It's kind of become the norm nowadays.
Yep. My son's in 8th grade, so we're at that point. What do we do?
Yeah, no, I think every situation's different. There's not a right answer. There's not a one size fits all. But it's definitely becoming the norm. A couple of years ago, even not too long ago when I was in high school, you had maybe one kid in the program, 2 kids in the program that were holdbacks, but now it's kind of commonplace. I think part of it too, for some young people, it's good for them if they feel like during that COVID year, especially most importantly, academically, that they may have fell behind in some areas. You see a little bit of that. Obviously, a lot of it is athletically motivated. But again, it's not a one-size-fits-all circumstance, but definitely becoming more common for sure.
So when you use the term holdback, just for our audience that doesn't necessarily follow along with it, that means when somebody graduates from 8th grade and they delay entering high school for a year.
Yep.
Okay.
There are literally online programs developed now specifically for athletic holdbacks.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh boy, it is a thing.
And I'm hearing, Coach Ramirez, that basketball is even worse than football now because height is so important in basketball.
Yeah.
As a junior, it may not affect them as much in 8th grade, right?
Yeah.
But as a junior, when you have those kids that hit that final growth spurt, that last 3 or 4 inches,
yeah.
Somebody that's held back as a junior is going to have a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question. It's definitely interesting. Basketball, for sure. It's very unique. I think it's always been more commonplace in basketball. But yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting conversation. And again, it's kind of just dependent on the circumstance, really.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of growth spurts and things, Coach Ramirez, I'm 5'7". Do you think being held back would have helped me?
You know what? I think there might have been a chance, but I don't know.
He's a friend. That's what I keep telling myself.
I'm taller than him in my boots today,
by the way, Coach. It's intimidating. So, but absolutely. Let's continue talking about your team. So you've got some personalities that have really stepped up and developed on this team. Every night it feels like there's somebody different contributing. But I want to talk about the fact that you have multi-sport athletes that are participating in basketball. I think, this is my theory, the minute that you had those 2 football players come out for the program, it's like you guys have been red hot now because there's a sense of intimidation now, it feels like, when these guys are on the court.
Yeah, Mason Whitaker and Owen Pimbert, 2 juniors for us. They make us better just from a toughness standpoint, a mentality standpoint. They're pests defensively, and that creates confidence, I think, for the rest of our team. And just kind of knowing you have a little bit of extra grit and toughness there, everyone kind of elevates their game a little bit. And that's the beauty. I mean, when I came into Saguaro, I embraced that it was a quote-unquote football school. In fact, I tell people it is the football school. And I want as many guys who are interested in playing multiple sports. I mean, most of our JV team plays football. We have a couple baseball players, so it's something we definitely embrace. And it makes us better, and we're really lucky to have coaches here at Saguaro that really support each other's programs. Like Coach Mons was amazing to me since day one. Coach Hill's been amazing to me since day one. Obviously, Coach Mickey, and the rest of our coaches on campus, we support each other, and it's really awesome to see. So, all things positive on that front. But no, Mason and Owen make our team a lot better, and it's really cool. On a personal note, some people know this. So Mason Whitaker's father, Jermaine, is the athletic director at McClintock High School, assistant principal over there too. Mason's father was teaching and coaching at Horizon when I was a student there. So going into my freshman year, Jermaine was coaching us. So it's
that's right. I know Mr. Whitaker.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to figure out.
That whole family is a legacy. Like Nat, the mom, is one of my ride or die football moms. You've got that whole family. You've got Mason. You've got Aiden is now there, and Jackson is in 8th grade. He's one of my son's best receivers. So you've got your work cut out for you, my friend, with the next 4 or 5 years. But I can tell.
Coach, are you going to be there that long?
As long I tell people I'm on a 1-year contract every year. As long as they keep re-signing it, I'll be there.
Yeah, we're all interim in this business. I feel like some of my conversations with your athletic director, Matt Harris, I feel like I'm an interim broadcaster half the time.
But that
he's
whole,
so intimidating.
That whole thing that we're talking about with the Whitaker family. My husband is Saguaro alumni. Was back in the 90s when they were. Before the whole winning thing.
Before the dynasty.
Before the whole winning thing.
Right.
But that's one of the things that makes Saguaro great is that you've got legacies. And it's not so much about, the hot coach of the minute, which is what we see at so many other high schools. Once the coach leaves, that's the end of that program.
Yeah.
Saguaro has withstood different coaches, different legacies, and it's really the families, I call it the Death Star.
Yeah.
That keep coming back, not because of the coaches or that it's the school of the minute. It's because there's that deep-seated loyalty to that school. And I think that's what continues to make that school so great, is that you see families that come through there that have 3, 4, 5 kids, that have generations of people that end up going there.
Joined on the line for the Sabercat report here with head basketball coach from the Saguaro Sabercats, Lucas Ramirez. Coach, I got a tough question to ask you here, so I'm going to ask this question.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we do this segment, Heather. We do this segment called Ask Lucas, and it's where we have listeners, very astute listeners, will call in and they'll ask him a question from anything, pop culture, the arts, anything, and he'll answer it because Coach Lucas Ramirez he's a real Renaissance man. He knows a little bit about everything.
Okay.
He's a regular, George Costanza of the arts. And so, Coach, when are we going to bring back Ask Lucas?
I think that's more of an off-season project.
Yeah.
We can focus on basketball, but
yeah.
No, it's fun. I don't know how you got my dad's phone number. That concerns me.
We do our due diligence. So yeah, his dad even asked questions one week. Yeah.
But no, it's awesome. I've been working with you guys, and like you guys were talking about, just the community of Saguaro. We've been really lucky to be a part of this now, going on 4 years, and the community, the families. It's a special place, and there's nowhere else I'd want to be. And again, it's because of the kids, parents, staff, etc.
All right. Coach Lucas Ramirez with the Sabercat report. Coach, good luck this afternoon in the finals of the 2023 Saguaro Holiday Classic. You face the Trevians of New Trier High School out of Winnetka, Illinois. Good luck in the finals. We'll be covering that game. We'll talk to you later.
Good luck, Coach.
Thanks. Go Cats.
Yep.
All right. Guys, when we come back from the break, we will be joined by Coach Jim Camarillo of the Minority Football Coaches Network. We'll be back. Big announcement.
KDUS AM 1060 is the home to the Dan Patrick Show, the Doug Gottlieb Show, and Sports Map Radio. Catch all the sports content here on AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan, resident here at Arco Santi, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road, just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
You didn't need the video, did you?
No, you're fine. It's only audio. Yeah, it's only audio. So, all
It's not like the Scott Van Pelt show. I'm not live.
All right, go ahead.
Hello, this is OUAZ football coach Mike Nesbitt, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, and college sports, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Great. Now, if you would do it one more time, but read the script.
I don't want to read the script.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Heather Walker in studio for our final show of the year. And joining us on the line, we are joined by MFCN, Minority Football Coaches Network, Executive Director. His name is Jim Camarillo. And you may know Coach Camarillo from all of the amazing defenses of the past, 10, 20 years out at Saguaro High School in the state championships. Well, he is directing this nonprofit now and bringing an exciting game to January that we are announcing here on the show that the Varsity Sports Show is privileged to cover. Coach Cam, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vince. How are you?
Coach, I am thrilled to have you on the show because we've had conversations the past few weeks about what you are doing. First of all, you head up this organization. When I spoke to you a couple weeks ago, when we started talks on putting together this game, which we'll get to in a minute, all I see on social media is you doing all these charitable things for coaches, for programs, for kids. I mean, tell us a little bit about MFC. What exactly is this organization?
Yeah, Vince, thanks. Minority Football Coaches Network. In coaching high school football for so many years and being on the sidelines at Saguaro for so many years and just meeting coaches and having conversation, whether it be on the sideline or at school or during the off season, things like that. A lot of guys are saying, hey, we don't have a means of getting together. A lot of guys are saying, they really miss the coaches association and some of the things that you do in a coach association like that. A lot of guys see each other at the clinics that we hold. At MFCN holds coaches clinics every year. So the guys would get together and talk football and network and build some new relationships and things like that. So guys are saying, hey, can you let's be nice if we had something. So
yeah.
I thought about it for a couple of seasons, made a bunch of notes in my mind, and got some things down on paper, reached out to a few people, and we started the Minority Football Coaches Network. And really just exactly that, just a way to connect coaches, share ideas. If a guy has, some needs for fundraising or equipment or practice plans or culture of your school or weightlifting programs. I mean, coaches are all in this together to help these kids, these student athletes. So this is this has been a great thing because it's really connected a whole bunch of coaches. When I first kicked it off in 2019, in January 2019, we had a couple clinics and we were doing some things like that, doing some charitable work. And then the pandemic hit, and I started doing, because all the coaches were at home, throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
And so I started doing virtual clinics, and I think we held over 60 virtual clinics during that time. And it was really great because, really what I had envisioned when we started this was to mainly keep it in Arizona, all the activities and whatnot for Arizona. But when we started going virtual and getting guys from all over the country, so now we have thousands of guys following us from all over the country and sharing ideas. So it's really been fun. It's been a blessing for me because I've met so many new guys and so many new coaches and people, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's interesting because which leads me to my next topic or question that you're directly involved in. There's opportunities that people make livings off of things to do with high schools. There's clinics, there's camps, there's combines, there's different events, there's personal coaches, things like that. Well, you're putting together an all-star game, but it's not about about trying to profit off this thing. You guys are a nonprofit.
Right.
You're creating opportunities for young people. It's called the Offertunity Bowl. How did all this start? And you're pulling in a team from Southern California to play in this thing.
Yeah, Vince. So a couple of months back, the foundation, the name of their foundation is NAIA. Okay. And it's a Polynesian group of former ex-college players, NFL players, and they have for years now, they've been putting on their own all-star games throughout Southern California. Most of them are based in Southern California. So they reached out to me, and he just kind of cold called me and said, hey, we talked to some guys, and we'd like to talk to you about doing an event in Arizona. So, we had a conversation, and after a couple of weeks of a few talks, and I got to meet a few of those guys and really started getting excited about it because, in Arizona, there's been all-star, from my understanding, there's been all-star games before, over the past, years.
Sure.
But when the coaches association started to lose some traction, the game went away. And so when they reached out to me, their objective with this game is not for it to just be an all-star game. Everybody comes together, you have some fun, and then everybody goes home, and that's it, right? So their objective is to create opportunities. So, we're going to stream the game. You guys are going to stream the game for us. We're so happy to have you guys on board with us. It's going to be awesome. And what we're doing is we're going out to the Division II, Division III, all the smaller schools that we can think of, and it's so many connections that they have and that we have. We're reaching out. We're going to send the film to all those coaches. And so we had the Arizona team had over 100 players register.
Okay.
From all across the state.
But you couldn't take them all, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't take them all. So we've got about 43, I think it will be our roster, which is set. And all over the state, kids from Tucson, Prescott, Cholo, all across the valley, and so we're really proud of how much interest. And it kind of shows you that right now, Vince, with the college recruiting, the atmosphere, the way what's happening now is a lot of these kids don't get as many looks. They don't get recruited as often for the smaller schools around the country.
Yeah.
And so I thought this was when they presented the idea of having a game here in Arizona, I thought it was awesome. It's perfect timing. So many coaches have reached out, because they've obviously heard about it, and I've been sending out emails to get kids to register for the game.
Yeah.
So many guys have hit me back saying, "Hey, it's a great idea. This is great," because a lot of these players don't get a chance to get recruited on film or in person by a lot of these schools across the country. So we're really looking forward to it, Vince. I mean, this is like I said, there's been all-star games before, but nothing like this has ever happened in Arizona.
Yeah. Well,
with the objective of kind of the connecting the high school coaches and the college coaches, because really what I envision is what's going to happen is when we conduct the game, film the game, get a bunch of the registration information out to the coaches, college coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get the film out to the coaches. Those college recruiters are going to call or email the high school head coach. It's typically the way it happens. Hey, tell me more about your player. Tell me more about this guy. We're looking at this guy. That kind of thing. So that's the connection that I hope happens. And then we get more traction the next year from maybe even more recruiters want to show more interest in recruiting Arizona kids. So it's a great start. I mean, getting 100 kids registered in a matter of, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe
it wasn't very long. Yeah,
is fantastic.
Joined on the line by longtime Valley football coach Jim Camarillo. You know him as running those amazing defenses out at Saguaro High School for many, many years. And he now heads up the Minority Football Coaches Association, which they are bringing in a bowl game, an all-star game for seniors. Called the Offertunity Bowl. So, and that'll be January 27th. Now, speaking of all-star games, Coach, having grown up in the Phoenix area, there was a game every year. The All-State, the All-Star game, North versus South, played out at Eastern Arizona College in Thatcher, but that was in July, and they did it for a number of years. What's so special and different about this game is that it's soon after, it's within a month or two after the high school football season ends. These guys are still out there. It's kind of in between seasons, right at the end of basketball season before baseball really kicks in, and it's during a cooler climate. It's going to be held out at Ottawa University Spirit Field in Surprise, so a great venue, a brand new facility. We're going to be covering the action. We are so excited, Coach. I can't wait. We're gonna promote the heck out of this thing. Once January rolls around, we're going to be doing a lot more together and making it an event, not just a game, but an event.
Right.
You you are going to be so excited with our coverage. You're going to wonder, I can't live without this guy, Delicio. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, Coach, I got to ask you this question. And you were a part of how many championships at Saguaro?
12.
Does Mons still know that you've got like 5 or 6 of those championship trophies tucked away somewhere hidden? I know he had called me. He said he was looking for a few of them.
He wants them back.
Yeah, he wants them back, I think.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't smart enough to take them home with me.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Lots of memories, though. Lots of memories. I'll tell you, it was fantastic.
12. Gosh, I undersold him. I said I think he was part of like 8 or 9. 12 championships. Coach, thank you so much. We're looking forward. Coach Larry Fetkenheier also is going to be the head coach of the Arizona team, and we're going to have more about that and Coach Fetkenheier as the weeks go on. Coach Camarillo, Jim Camarillo, Minority Football Coaches Network, and also heading up the Offertunity Bowl coming January 27th. Coach, thanks again. We'll circle back with you soon.
All right. Thank you, Vince. Have a great day.
All right. Great guy. God, that guy is awesome. Just the whole community and the fact he's been around forever. Guys, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by another great coach, Andy Johnson out of Mountain View High School, the Toros basketball report. We'll be back after the break.
Interact with Bob Kemp's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kemp's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
All right, go ahead.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS with my main man, Vince Delicio, right here in Arizona, home of youth, high school, college sports, and, of course, you.
Hi, this is dance and pro wrestling team Janie Van Halen and
Louis 54 from Los Angeles, California, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM
1060 Arizona.
This is Saguaro Sabercat football coach Zach Hill, and you're listening to the home of Sabercat football, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
Extra Point with local and national topics, betting lines, and banter. Weekdays 10 to noon on KDUS AM 1060, KDUS1060.com, and the KDUS 1060 app.
It's Toro time! And now, from the campus of champions, it's Mountain View Toros basketball coach Andy Johnson on the Varsity Sports Show AM 1060 KDUS Arizona.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS. Vince Delicio, joined in studio by the Phoenix family foodie Heather Walker. Chef Heather, did you have to get like a special designation to have that title, or is that just like an honorary doctorate type of thing?
What, chef?
Chef, yeah, Chef Heather.
You know, normally people who either went to culinary school or work at a restaurant or own some type of business, it's the boss, basically, is what the chef term does.
It's
so,
a
and I own a
title.
catering company.
I didn't know that.
Well, I
thought I knew you so well.
Custom cakes is what I have, a custom cake studio.
Yeah.
All of the Food Network shows that I've won have been centered around cakes.
Wow.
So
what's your favorite? You have a
favorite cake?
Yeah.
Today is actually my mother-in-law's birthday, and I made her a lemon blueberry cake.
What's her name?
Kate Walker.
How old is she? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
39.
Yeah.
Which means she had my husband when she was -4.
Yeah, it was as if the relationship with an in-law isn't already adversarial.
Right,
We're going to
right,
reveal
right,
her
right.
age on the air. But anyway, okay, all right. Moving right along. See, we could do this all day, but we've got to
Food and football, man. I'm in.
We've got a
Anytime you
format
want.
here. Okay, thank you. You know what? We have the ability to do remote broadcasts. So for your Super Bowl party, let me know. We'll do the show from.
Ooh, okay.
It's just a Saturday morning. Nobody will be there, but we can.
My husband and my mom will listen, so it'll be good.
Okay. So we have at least 2 listeners.
We have 2 listeners.
Okay, and my mom, so 3. Okay. All right. Welcome back. It is time for the Toro Basketball Report. We are joined on the line by Andy Johnson. He is the head basketball coach out at Mountain View High School, the Toros. High expectations going into this season, and they are delivering. They're sitting at 5-2 overall. They're going to be heading off to Vegas here to play in a tournament, the Tarkanian Classic. Coach Johnson, how are you, sir?
Great. How you doing?
Coach, I am doing great, and joined in studio by Chef Heather Walker.
Good morning.
Yes. So, Coach, talk to us a little bit about the team, where you're sitting right now. Is this where you want to be? Is this what you expected? What are you thinking?
Yeah, we're sitting 5-2 right now. Got a huge game actually in a few hours today at Desert Vista, who's a really, really good team as well. It'll be a great challenge for us. And then after that, tomorrow we head to Las Vegas for one of the biggest tournaments in high school basketball, in the Tarkanian Classic. And, just excited where we're at, as a program. Our freshman team is 7-0, our JV team is 6-1, and our varsity team is sitting 5-2. And, overall as a program, we're getting better, every game. That's kind of what you want this time of year. And I thought last game, all levels of our program, we played Liberty High School, who's always a powerhouse here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Took care of business, and that really impressed me and showed me that I think we're on the right track.
Give us a little preview of today's game. Maybe talk somewhat about the strengths of Desert Vista. We hear a lot about their program and the success that they've had, and what can you tell us about them?
Yeah, they're extremely well coached. They're really, really quick. They play 5 guards at one time. They want to get up and down and run. You score, make or miss, that ball's coming down the other end in 3 to 4 seconds. They're really fast and quick, like I just said.
Yeah.
They're sitting 3-2 on the season. Their 2 losses are 2 top 10 state-ranked teams. They just beat a really, really good Mesa team a few days ago. So we got a huge challenge in front of us, and we're going to have to play our best basketball to have a chance.
When you talk about your best basketball, what do you see as your strength in attacking these guys that give you the best chance of victory?
Playing Toro basketball, that's defend, rebound, and run. We get up, we guard, we dictate tempo, we rebound, and we go. Making plays for a teammate in the half court as well, moving the basketball, player movement, body movement, and just playing for each other. We do that. I think we can play anybody in the state.
I want to talk a little bit about some particular kids on your roster. First of all, the first guy I want to talk about, who was going into last season. He was maybe your 12th man off the bench, didn't really contribute much, and you had more or less a come-to-Jesus conversation with him. His name is Rashard Cooper. What did he do in the offseason for you, Coach?
He decided to commit himself to the team in the basketball. He dropped 70 pounds this offseason. He lived in the weight room. He lived on the track. He lived in the gym. I think me and him, I joked around that we're going to become best friends and hang out a lot together.
Yeah.
And he lived in the gym. And he put the work in, and as well as following a strict diet. And all the credit goes to him. He's the one that did the work and every day, and kept making progress. And he went from a guy as a junior who was on our JV team and didn't really play much varsity to averaging almost a double-double for us and starting, and we'll have a chance to maybe play college basketball at some level. Just his commitment to to his body and to the game of basketball and to his teammates. It's incredible to see a 17, 18-year-old commit himself like that and make such a transformation, to himself. And excited for him because he's going to get rewarded, hopefully with a chance to play college basketball, but also just a great senior year he's having so far for us.
Well, and on that topic, because I wanted to lead off talking about Richard. Richard is 6'5", 190 now, going, in the offseason. I mean, he was 70 pounds heavier. He was 260, didn't play much. This is a young person. This is a teenager that is like any other teenager. I know what I have in my cabinets at home. I mean, I've got 3 teens, and it's not good food. And to discipline yourself to drop 70 pounds. I mean, sitting here with a foodie expert here in Heather Walker. Heather, as a high school kid, how do you regulate that? What do you eat, for God's sake?
My kid right now is hitting his first big growth spurt, and I can't keep up with it. Like, his pants are 2 inches too short because we can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I let him eat whatever he wants whenever he wants, but it's not enough. So, Coach, my question for you is, what can we do as parents? Richard kind of was in the opposite direction of losing weight, but what do you think are some of the best things that parents can do to support you as a coach in keeping some of these kids motivated?
I think the one biggest thing you see nowadays in youth sports and middle school sports and then high school sports is, I think we have to have a reality check of it is so the percentages is so against everybody to go play at the next level of college basketball or to make the NBA or to be a professional athlete. You want those dreams, and you support those dreams, and you do everything you can to help your, if that's one of your kids' dreams to get there. But you also have to have a reality check too, as well as realize that it's so hard to get there, and just to live in the moment, and have fun at the level you're at, and I think that with that, being all in with the team. Rooting for every single kid on the team and not just your kid.
Yep.
You'll see at games, when you go to high school and then every level, parents with their phones out recording their kids, which is awesome and great. And I have a little 3.5-year-old, and I do the same, at games as well. But then when you see, sometimes you see, your son get taken out of a game by the coach, or you see him not playing, and immediately you'll see parents in the stands. They'll put their phone down.
The whispering begins.
The whispering. I've heard them yell.
Well, yes,
Coach, why?
Yeah. Exactly. Or whispering, or they'll walk out of the gym, or they'll get bad body language, or they'll just be in such disgust where it's, like at our first parent meeting, my number one message to all of our parents in our program was, be a fan of every single kid in our program.
Love it.
Root for every single kid in our program, not just your son.
Yep.
If you do that, the energy and the body language and the support it gives your whole team, and it'll benefit your son.
Yeah.
It just spreads throughout the team and just creates such a positive, great, team vibe where, and more important than that, it's teaching the life lesson of, rooting for everybody. We want everybody to succeed. We want everybody to have a great experience. We want, just being such that big component in the end of being a great teammate, showing your kids how to be a great teammate. If you could teach your kids how to be a great teammate, I think that's one of the most powerful life lessons you could give, because you're always going to be part of a team, whether if it's, at work or with your family or your sports team or whatever not. Just that component of just being a fan of everyone and teaching your kid how to be a great teammate. If we could have more of that at every level of youth sports and just translate it to society, I just think the world could be such a better place.
Words of wisdom.
Coach Andy Johnson from the Toro Basketball Report. Coach, final question for you here in our final minute or two. Friday nights, well, any night of the week, whenever there's a basketball game at Mountain View, it's an event. Like, I'll talk to administrators on some campuses, and they don't even know there's a game going on. At your place at Mountain View, Everybody's there, including the AD and even your principal, Dr. Mike Oliver, which he doesn't have to be there, but he's there, even on crutches. You know, he had a so-called quote-unquote injury that he's not going into detail about, that people still don't know if that's like a fake, if it was an insurance thing maybe, or no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Dr. Oliver's a good guy, and he's a big supporter of our show. But how has it become such an event? Like, even the student section is packed. Are they coming to see you?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're definitely coming to see our team, but it is an event, and the best thing about Mountain View is just the community support we have over here. There's so many alums that give back and come back to games and support, and parents and everybody's all in. Everybody wants to just see the school and the program, no matter if it's the band having a concert, or our drama department having a show, or our art department having something, or a Friday night football game, or a Friday night basketball game, or whatever it is. It's always packed. Just the support that the community gives our school, and it starts at the top. Our principal is at everything. I mean, he's last night at our game, 2 nights ago, he came to our game and he got there halftime. It was his third event on campus he's been to that day. He just sets the tone. He supports everybody. And when you have that, every coach supports every program. All the administration and teachers support every program. And when you do that, you show the support to the kids, and you show you truly care about them, and you want to be there for them and support them. I just think it goes a long way, to know that they're in such a great environment and such a great community that we have.
Coach Andy Johnson with the Toro basketball report from Mountain View High School. Coach, good luck this afternoon out at Desert Vista. Good luck in Vegas. We look forward to continuing our relationship, not only with the basketball program, but the rest of the athletic department, courtesy of athletic director Joe Goodman. Great guy, great friend of mine and of ours, big advocate for our programming, as well as Dr. Mike Oliver, the principal out there, good guy. Coach, thanks again for everything. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Heather, when we come back from the break, our show is going to take a dip. We've got the Beachin with Beale Southern California Surfing Report and the executive director of the Arizona Media Association, Lisa Simpson. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Go Varsity.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, this is Mesa Community College Assistant Athletic Director Mike Lavella and Modern Day Invincible. You're listening to AM 1060, the Varsity Sports Show, the home of all your junior college sports coverage.
This is Elisa
and Craig from Scottsdale, Arizona,
and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Go Varsity!
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2023 and 24. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Coach Walter Cuff with TBA Training Better Athletes, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Conrad Hamilton, head football coach at Desert Mountain High School. You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD Radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
And now it's time for Beachin with Beale. Random thoughts from a real Orange County, California surfer guy, Mike Beale. The opinions expressed during the segment in no way represent those of KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show, its host, or its listeners.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio joined in studio by Chef Heather Walker. the Phoenix Family Foodie from ABC. Gosh, I
did it
keep doing.
again.
I grew up. That was our ABC affiliate. It was Channel 3. The Arizona Family. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love Channel 3 though. I got to say that. I'm shaken up because this last, well, not quite this last segment, but one of our final segments is, of course, one of our most popular on this show. It's a surf report.
You're shaking in your boots.
I
is
am.
what it is.
Why do we have a surf report on our show? Because we can. Because we're in Arizona and people want to know what goes on at the beach.
Right.
And who better to deliver that message than this guy? A guy I grew up with here in Phoenix, so he's an Arizona native, lives in what is arguably known as Orange County's armpit in Costa Mesa, California. Costa Mesa, you've been there, right? Oh,
yeah,
God.
I spent most of my life in San Diego.
Yeah. Well, you go a little north and you'll want to keep driving. Yeah. And anyway, Mike Beale. Mike.
Mike, you guys got one of the best malls out there in Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Coast.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what my wife and daughter tell me.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's the
Your
best.
credit card bill reflects it.
Yeah. Mike, what's going on today?
Buen dia to you, Vince. Not much. It's actually a very good California day today. Sun is bright. The ocean's like a nice light navy blue, smooth, glassy, little bump.
Yeah.
It's textbook perfect out here. Except we're all flying our flags at half mast in Costa Mesa after Thursday's game. Our Costa Mesa Chargers. Woo!
Yeah.
Well, that was a record beatdown.
And you can't expect Spanos not to drop the hammer, man, after a beating like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't even enough. I mean, I've been going to training camp. It's right down the street. I ride my bike there the last 5-6 years. I'm embarrassed to go this summer.
But did you hear my prediction?
Yeah.
I think you have a Harbaugh era coming your way.
Somebody good.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh, maybe? Yeah. We don't know. Mike says he listens to the show. He wasn't listening. He just woke up.
He was still sleeping.
Oh, yeah. That's
You're an hour
not
behind
true.
us right now, right? You're just opening your little peepers.
And I can prove it. I heard Vince telling a coach that he's going to have a hard time not being able to live without Vince next season.
He says that to everybody, though.
And I can tell you and Heather and all the listeners that I can live without you, Vince.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah.
Sure, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. So what else is going on? You know, this is our final show of 2023. What else is going on? I tell people that this is our most popular segment because you put so much time and effort into not delivering a good surf report, but in insulting me. That's where you put most of your effort.
Well, I was thinking about it. This is probably our last show together this year. So I was going year in review, looking at my journal of our life coaching sessions. Yeah. And I wanted to share kind of with our listeners one of the breakthroughs that we had. It was concerning your obsessive online shopping at Lululemon and Bed Bath & Beyond we talked about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say. I'm proud to say.
Friends, by the way.
We made a breakthrough. I mean, but honestly, it's like, how many candles and lotion does one guy need, Vince? We've gone over this.
Wow.
All right. So moving right along. Thank you, Mike. So moving right along, why is it so important for people in Arizona to know what's going on at the beach in Orange County?
Well, it affects the world. I mean, California's happiness is the world's happiness. We're sort of the trendsetters in the United States, I think. It's not, but it's fun. It's interesting to me, and more people hear about it, more people get interested in it. It's good for everybody, Vince.
What can we expect from Mike Beale and the Beachin with Beale Southern California Surf Report in 2024?
Well, this winter I'm going to head north. I'm going to start opening up a few old surf spots I haven't been to in a while.
Yeah.
From Huntington all the way up to Malibu, maybe even Santa Barbara. So I'm going to try to give some reports for some more remote outposts for our listeners.
Mike, so Heather's from San Diego, and I got to ask you. So when you tried to report from Black's Beach, what happened?
Your obsession with the old nude beach. For everybody who's listening and doesn't know, Black's Beach for years was a nude beach in San Diego
but it's not
County,
like attractive people that would hang out there.
No, and I had some friends take me not knowing what I would see. And the first thing that I saw there was a dude with some piercings in unspeakable places. It was literally like the first thing I saw at Black's Beach.
Yeah.
A guy just like
rocking
the Prince Albert.
It's Mike.
Yeah, when you think of nude beach, it's the polar opposite of the movies. It's oh my God, it's disgusting.
Okay,
and there's hang gliders, like the hang gliders. That's where the hang glider port is. So these people on hang gliders are like literally flying over naked dudes.
Yeah, it can almost taste the throw up in my mouth.
On that note, Mike, we look forward to more in 2024. On behalf of the Beachin with Beale Southern California Surf Report, my old friend Mike Beale. Mike, thank you so much. It's like a culture now. It's our most popular segment. Right, Mike?
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. All right, Mike.
Thanks for having me, Vince.
I'll see you next year, Mike.
All right, next up, Aaron, take it away. Oh boy.
You actually got through that.
Okay, so what were you saying, Heather?
You actually got off pretty easy on that one. Like, there were minimal insults. Like, I had a list ready to go, and we didn't even get to it.
Yeah, well, and now we need to
save them for next
well,
year.
the thing is, though, we have to save face because now we bring in our most important guest, arguably, of the morning. She's the executive director of the Arizona Media Association. Her name is Lisa Simpson. So coming off of that, Lisa, I'm so sorry. I know you were on hold and you were listening to that segment, but it is, unfortunately, our most popular segment. But we're rolling in and bringing you in to kind of close the show out. So first of all, tell us, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. I look forward to working with you. I am so excited about the news that we had this week. Please share with our audience the 5 or 6 people that actually listen to the entire show. No, we have a lot more people than that. But talk about what happened this week with respect to us.
Well, I'll tell you what, Vince, we were really excited to welcome you guys as our newest member of the Arizona Media Association. As you know, a few months ago, the Arizona Newspapers Association and the Arizona Broadcasters Association merged to form the Media Association. And one of the reasons we wanted to do that is we wanted to make sure that we were all inclusive to all different types of media. And we were looking for some folks that were really making a difference in the community and making those community connections. And there you are. So we were really excited to bring you guys in.
Wow. Thank you so much. We're so honored, and I know that it was a rigorous process. Screening, everything that you guys went through, and you and I had a conversation. And remember, I asked you. You said there were some questions, but at the end of the day, you guys are members. And I said, hey, Lisa, I'll take it because, as you know, that old adage. The guy that finishes last in medical school is called...
He's still a doctor.
He's still a doctor. So.
Yes. Well, you were our first real test of bringing in a non-traditional...
Wow.
You're not a newspaper. You're not like a radio station or a TV station. So you were our first real test. And our board and a lot of our members had a lot of questions. And we kind of put you guys through a ringer, but you passed with flying colors. What you guys do is amazing. So we're really excited to have you as part of the team to really help us reshape what the future of media in Arizona looks like.
Thank you so much. So that being said, what are some of the other activities that the media association's engaged in? There's an awards banquet coming up in January, but some of the things year-round that you do are pretty cool. I mean, you support internships and other organizations that provide internships and along those lines.
Well, one of the things that we really want to make sure that we do is we have a robust member program. So we offer the ability for our members to apply for internship grants. And I'm happy to say that we awarded 51 internship grants. If you haven't gotten a letter yet, you guys were on the list.
Yeah, we did.
And we also do education training for our members in various various types of disciplines, whether it's from an engineering side or a sales side. And we also have our Arizona Local News Foundation, which we just relaunched about 2 months ago, and we're really working to do the fundraising on that so that we can expand and offer other kinds of grants for innovation and to ensure that Arizona never falls victim to news deserts. So we're really excited about the future of that. So that's got a long way to go. We started with just a little bit of money in the bank, and we're starting to get more donors in. In January, we're having our first combined awards event, our Future and Awards Luncheon, where we honor 5 different folks as they're admitted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then we also do throughout the year, we have other contests where journalists and the advertising folks can all enter some of their best work, and it gets judged by peers from another state. And so those are some of the fun things that we do, along
Awesome.
with, happy hours and cocktail
Oh,
parties.
I can't wait
and
for
I'm in
those.
for
other
that.
lunches.
I'm in
Yes,
for that.
yes. Well,
Right?
thank you so much, Lisa Simpson, Executive Director of the Arizona Media Association. Thank you to President Chris Klein. Thank you to the association. I am so thrilled. We are a part of this organization, prestigious organization, and we'll do you proud. I promise you. Thanks for supporting our efforts. So, Lisa, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for supporting our efforts, and good luck with your next season. And I can't wait to come see a game where you guys are there.
Awesome. Guys, on behalf of my friend, Chef Heather Walker, Vince DeLisio here, congratulations to everybody that had anything to do with our success. You know who you are. We'll see you next year here on the Varsity Sports Show. We'll be back in January. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone, in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.